Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to our main news bulletin. Here are the top stories in our news tonight. A LUSAKA-based herbalist testifies against former First Lady Esther LUNGU. Government reduces student loan repayment interest rate. Authorities advised against arresting opposition leaders over trivial matters. In international news, Sierra Leone imposes night curfew following attack. And in sports news, Copper Queens aim to keep the winning momentum. My name is Sylvia Zulu. To join me with the details after this.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Thank you so much for staying with us. And now the news in detail. Some residents in Lusaka's Mtendere East have bemoaned the poor workmanship of the Zambian National Service, ZNS, on Salama Bridge, which is already blocked before the rains intensify. The residents have accused ZNS and the council of working in isolation, leading works that have left their houses at risk of collapse as water is not flowing as before. Area Councillor for Kalikiliki Ward, Shadrack Mwanza, says culverts that were installed at the bridge are too small to accommodate the flow, which carries debris from other places, including Kalikiliki.
Barely days after residents of Lusaka's Kabanana complained over the work of ZNS on a bridge, which has left them in risk of flash floods, residents of Lusaka's Mtendere East have cried foul over a similar matter. According to residents, ZNS installed culverts on this bridge which are small, leaving the infrastructure blocked on the onset of the rains and diverting water into their homes.
Chifika bakaichosa ichakavuvet ilipa jamanzi ya zambo pita buli mwamene yenzo pitila beta bama motoka bazambo embeke zamanzi ya pita dhani mwamene yankadi la bonani ukubamanga manje kufata kuti bachingilize ukumanzi ya sazieni yaenda manzi yonse mvula yenzo loka yaenda so konse
funka space ikulu vakuti olovose vipita mu munyasi munja vienda manzi akapushinga uchoka kumwamba kuja vapita vaenda ngati ngapo so ichisaka cho blocking apache but ni mvula ya first ikapofika rain season apa so tikamba sofa manje apa so blocking akudala pale ndana za bofufa kulo bawe azeze sazabira pa fakulule.
Ward Development Committee Vice Chairperson Vixon Mwemba says efforts to engage ZNS during the construction of the project proved futile, resulting in the poor workmanship.
Even engineering wa council even by engineering wa ZNS nabauza utayama culverts ya chepa lost dienenzo peze kama nini pa ground pano pamoja na makanzo nabaza tuma culverts ya chepa.
Area Councillor Shadrack Mwanza has described the work on the bridge as waste of taxpayers' money, resulting from lack of consulting local leadership.
They have never involved me. They have never informed me when they are coming to work in my ward. They will just come. There will be no communication. They will be putting pipes, small pipes. We are the ones that understand the problems. We know the flow of water. ZNS and the council, they don't stay in the community. But what they did, even after complaining, even after several complaints that were raised by the members of the community, they were not ready to listen. They went ahead and put small pipe. This is putting the government money, CDF money, which belongs to the people, to waste.
It is therefore hoped that the looming calamity here will be prevented as soon as possible, and going forward, residents will be included in planning and execution to avoid wastage of public resources in such a manner. For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
A political researcher has called on the government to desist from allegedly championing the arrest of opposition political leaders in the country on trivial matters. Dr. Kefas Mukuka says perpetuating such actions has the potential to erode the country's good governance style. Dr. Mukuka has also challenged the government to speed up the investigation of the alleged shooting of a 15-year-old boy in Kankoyo and compensate the family.
The ruling United Party for National Development UPND was ushered into power on the basis of restoring the rule of law and promoting peace, unity and love in the country. In recent weeks, a list of opposition leaders have been arrested on different charges, but a political researcher, Dr. Kefas Mokoka, has observed that the government needs to be realistic when effecting arrests on political opponents. Dr. Mokoka observes that when arrests are made, citizens should be able to sympathize with the government and allegations must be of serious nature. His remarks follows the arrest of former Lusaka Province Minister Bowman Lusambo and others on 23 November 2023 in Kabwe on the alleged offense of unlawful assembly.
It becomes a great concern when these players who are supposed to help in cleaning up our democracy, once in a while or frequently, they become victim of the state. I think that is not helping matters. When these players were involved in checks and balances are taken to the police, and it should be on very serious grounds, so that even members of the public are going to sympathize with the state, okay, as it were. Now, in most cases, it is the other way around. So that now is also helping to erode our democracy. It is also helping to wipe away our democracy.
Meanwhile, Dr. Mokoka has challenged the government to speed up the investigation of the alleged shooting of a 15-year-old boy in Kankoyo area in Mufulira by an alleged Zambia National Service officer and demands that the family be compensated.
Wasting time, I want to push on record that government should go ahead and compensate the two families. This is not to say that life can be equipped. This is not to say that life can be at the same level with money, but at this time like this is the thing which government has to do, to show remorse to the members of the public, to also show remorse to the affected families.
While these allegations arise, what is the stance of the government?
As long as we remain a government, I hear a lot of my opposition colleagues threatening me that, oh, we'll throw you up. I'm not scared of those things. I didn't come to worry about being thrown out or not. I came to serve. I came to do what should be done.
Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Parliamentary Caucus on Persons with Disabilities Chairperson Joseph Musanje says parliamentarians must be educated about disability issues and rights to ensure inclusivity in society. Speaking on the sidelines of the ZAFOD and CBM meeting with parliamentarians, Mr. Musanje says lawmakers have a huge role in ending the exclusion of persons with disabilities in terms of accessibility issues and political participation. ZAFOD Executive Director Justin Bakali regrets that currently persons with disabilities remain an afterthought in society, as a result remain excluded from several initiatives. More in this report.
The Zambia Federation of Disability Organizations ZAFOD and Christian Blind Mission CBM has held their inaugural meeting with the Parliamentarian Caucus on Disability Inclusion and Rights. The meeting was aimed at orienting members of Parliament on how to ensure inclusion of persons with disabilities in policy and decision-making in their deliberations. Speaking on the sidelines of the event, ZAFOD Executive Director Justin Bakali notes that there is still more to be done in ending all forms of discrimination against persons with disability in society.
There is nothing that they can contribute. They are usually looked at as patients instead of people that can also make a contribution. And this is the more reason why you find that actually the cost for social protection in this country is very high. But we need to move away from that. We need to change that scenario so that persons with disabilities can also be able to contribute to national development. And they should not be looked as objects of charity, but objects of engagement.
Caucus Chairperson Joseph Musanje, who is also Mbabara Member of Parliament, says all 88 members of the group will be oriented on disability rights, and the meeting was part of the process.
We would like to ensure that when members of Parliament are interrogating the various line ministries and the government agencies, they are checking that issues of disabilities are taken care of. For example, we've got roads, we've got RATSA, we've got RDA, and all these other agencies. They design bridges, they design roads, and the like. These must be always thinking about persons with disabilities in the delivery. Right now, CDF, there's construction of so many buildings, classrooms, clinics, and the like. They must all have disability-friendly features.
Meanwhile, speaking earlier when he addressed the gathering Parliamentarian Caucus on Disability Inclusion and Rights co-chairperson, Nixon Chirangwa urged organizations fighting for inclusion of persons with disabilities in politics to start their work way ahead of 2026 if meaningful results are to be attained.
And they need to be supported right now. If the cooperating partners who are interested in helping will only come in 2026, it will be too late. It won't be of much help at all. We need to identify and start working with those colleagues right now.
For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
Community-Based Natural Resource Management Forum Board Chairperson Rogers Lubilo has called on the Ministry of Tourism to expedite the launch of the Community-Based Natural Resource Management Policy. Speaking during the 7th Community-Based Natural Resources Management Conference, Dr. Lubilo says the policy will be instrumental in coordinating the sector. He stressed the need to tackle human-animal conflict by making sure that those affected are compensated and ensure that communities benefit from carbon trading. Meanwhile, Zambia Community Resources Board Association President George Tembo underscored the need to expedite the process of issuing hunting licenses.
If development begins in a community, then the statement is true when it comes to managing the country's natural resources. The Zambia Community-Based Resource Management Forum has been playing a pivotal role in the management of resources in the country. Speaking during the 7th Community-Based Natural Resources Management Conference, organization chairperson Dr. Rogers Lubilo implored the Ministry of Tourism to expedite the process of launching the Community-Based Natural Resources Management Policy.
But circumstances beyond our control have not made it possible. We are expectant of this policy and we hope the government will not delay this process any further. As we need this policy guidance going forward, we extend our call to those responsible for urging the government through the Ministry of Tourism to carry out their due mandate and give the people of Zambia the national stipend policy as soon as possible.
Dr. Lubilo stressed the need to tackle human-animal conflict by making sure that those affected are compensated by the government and ensure that communities benefit from carbon trading.
We take note of the increased human-wildlife incidences in our communities, the loss of lives and property, causing severe pain in our people. This problem is big and cannot be under-discussed. We take this strong view and position that the government, through the Department of National Parks and Wildlife and the Ministry of Tourism, should immediately embark on a nationwide consultation to come up with a national policy and legislation to start providing compensation for the people that are affected with these losses. This is important as we risk having more habitats being destroyed, more wildlife habitat being destroyed, as a way of chasing the wildlife from the community areas.
Meanwhile, Community Resources Board Association President George Tembo underscored the need to expedite the process of issuing hunting licenses.
Had a number of achievements. For instance, one of the most difficult matters that has affected our country, especially our local communities where we come from, the issue to do with the hunting fraternity, out of engagements, and the number of recommendations we did. I also wish to echo what my colleagues mentioned. We do not have any issue with government at the moment.
The theme for this year's conference is promoting transparency, accountability, and inclusive leadership in natural resources management. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
ZESCO Limited says debt owed to independent power producers and subsidiary companies has reduced from $1.7 billion to $1.1 billion as of October 2023. ZESCO Managing Director, Engineer Victor Mapani, attributed the debt reduction to the renegotiated tariffs, consistency in paying arbitration settlement agreements, and consistency in paying monthly invoices. He made the remarks during the signing ceremony of power supply agreements between ZESCO Limited and Face Quantum Minerals Limited for power supply to Kansanshi and treated mines in Lusaka on Monday. Meanwhile, Face Quantum Minerals Limited Chief Operating Officer Rudy Bernard-Horst thanked ZESCO for the long-standing partnership.
Zambia's mining sector plays a crucial role in the country's economy. Historically, it has served as a primary driver of economic growth and contributed significantly to government revenue and foreign exchange earnings. The sector mainly focuses on copper mining, with Zambia being one of the world's top copper producers. In order to boost the operations of mines, the power utility has signed a 10-year power supply agreement with Face Quantum Minerals Limited for power supply to Kansanshi and Trident mines. Speaking during the signing ceremony, ZESCO Managing Director, Engineer Victor Mapani, announced a reduction of debt owed to independent power producers and subsidiary companies from $1.7 billion to $1.1 billion as of October 2023. Engineer Mapani attributes the debt reduction to the renegotiated tariffs, among other factors, and says the signing of the 10-year power supply agreement underscores the company's commitment to developing Zambia's economy in the mining sector and the general economy.
Ladies and gentlemen, with this said, the signing of a 10-year power supply agreement with FQM in respect of Kansanshi mine and Trident Sentinel mine located in the northwestern province of Zambia is a great milestone that marks a new chapter in the corporation's partnership with our valued mining customers. This partnership underscores our mutual commitment to develop Zambia's economy in general and the mining sector in particular. This milestone is a culmination of several developments over some time.
Meanwhile, Face Quantum Minerals Limited Chief Operating Officer thanked ZESCO for the long-standing partnership and pledged to work towards enriching growth in the mining sector.
Thousands of jobs and reflect Face Quantum's long-term dedication to Zambia's new dawn. We at FQM are particularly thrilled about ZESCO's commitment to certifying that the power supply to us at our two mines is from renewable sources. This alignment with our sustainability goals not only enhances our operations but also resonates with our ethos of environmental responsibility. It is a significant step towards reducing our carbon footprint and contributing to global environmental preservation efforts.
Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
An economist, Emmanuel Zulu, has noted that parliamentary oversight on public debt acquisition remains limited despite the enactment of the Public Debt Management Act. The Act mandates Parliament to approve all public debt before acquisition. Mr. Zulu notes parliamentarians cannot disapprove of the public annual borrowing plan as presented in the national budget, as it is influenced by partisan numbers as well as constitutional time frame. Consumer Unit Trust Society CATS board member Sajiv Nair has underscored the importance of public discussion on parliamentary overnight on debt. The duo was speaking Monday, 27 November 2023, during a public lecture on the role of parliamentary debt oversight in Zambia.
A Lusaka-based economist has called for more powers to enable parliamentarians to play their oversight role in public debt acquisition. Zambia recently enacted the Public Debt Management Act 2022, aimed at ensuring that all debt acquired by government is approved by Parliament. Speaking during a public lecture on role of parliamentarians on debt oversight in Zambia, organized by CATS. Mr. Zulu has argued that limitations over public debt accountability is still a challenge.
But for our case, I think that we have no room for that. They'll just ask for your opinions. What should we do? Should we approve? So the biggest question is, what would happen if the Parliament does not agree to approve the annual borrowing plan, or they vote against the annual borrowing plan? Someone said that is voting against the entire budget, meaning the Minister of Finance will have to go back and draw up another budget, and it will be catastrophic.
Speaking on the sidelines of the lecture, CATS board member Sajiv Nair said debt burden and acquisition affects everyone, hence the need for public dialogue on the matter.
Hello to public finance. And this meeting is more of a public discussion to educate, to enhance debate on Zambia's public debt. We have university students, we have the practitioners, we have civil society, and we have media, and all those institutions come together to discuss a solution part of Zambia's debt crisis.
Meanwhile, some participants shared their thoughts on the public lecture and solutions around the matter.
But know more about our border debt and how we can improvise in ensuring that we do not go an extra mile to go and do another border.
That people actually come through and are part of this discussion because they are actually party to the debt framework in itself. So it's important that people through representatives participate, and discussions like this bring the debt issue to light.
With Zambia owing about $14 billion, the role of parliamentarians in debt oversight cannot be overstated, hence the need for such discussions to be replicated. For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
The government has reduced interest rates on student loans from 15% to 10% effective January 2024. Education Minister Douglas Siakalima announced the development Monday at a major briefing held at his office. The minister said the decision follows wide consultations between the government through the Higher Education Loans and Scholarship Board and various stakeholders. Mr. Siakalima added that his ministry, through the board, is currently sponsoring students at 8 public universities. He is optimistic that the reduction in interest rates will encourage those who have not yet started their repayment exercise to come on board. The minister has appealed to all who benefited from the student loans to be swift in paying back their loans to ensure the sustainability of the scheme.
To inform you that the Ministry of Education, through the Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board, has implemented changes to its student loan policies, including a reduction in interest rates and a new process for dealing with defaulters. Interest rate reduction starting from January 1, 2024, HERBALIST has lowered student loan interest from 15% to 10% amortized per annum. This decision follows consultations with stakeholders and the Ministry of Education, responding to beneficiaries' calls for a reduction in student loan interest rates. You may wish to know that HERBALIST is currently sponsoring students at 8 public universities, namely Charimbana University, Copperbelt University, Mulungushi University, Mukuba University, Kwame Nkrumah University, Kapasa Makasa University, Palabana University, and the University of Zambia. 6 universities out of 8 are benefiting from funds being recovered from those that benefited from the student loan scheme. It is crucial for individuals with student loans to pay back their loans promptly to ensure sustainability, because this is intended to be a revolving fund to continue to help other vulnerable students.
Lusaka Magistrate Kaunda Sakwanda has committed a Lusaka couple who is accused of murdering their 14-year-old maid to the Lusaka High Court for trial proceedings. This is in a matter in which Chanda Marjorie Lwembo, 30, a physician, is jointly charged with her husband, 36-year-old Smart Mumba, a lecturer, with one count of murder contrary to Section 200 of the Penal Code, Chapter 87 of the laws of Zambia. Allegations is that the duo on August 30th, 2023, around 09 hours, went to the University Teaching Hospital's police post with the dead body of the deceased, Janet Cholampundu, to obtain the brought-in date BID certificate. The duo appeared before the court Monday morning. They were informed that the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, had issued a certificate of committal to have their matter referred to the High Court for trial proceedings. The government has agreed to compensate Transport and Logistics Minister Frank Tayali with 450,000 kwacha for the trauma he experienced after police officers wrongly assaulted him while he escorted President Hakainde Hichilema at Force headquarters in 2020. This is in a matter in which the cabinet minister has sued the state in the Lusaka High Court and cited the Attorney General as the respondent. He had contended that he was physically assaulted by an overzealous police officer who pointed an AK-47 rifle at his head when he accompanied President Hakainde Hichilema as UPND president then for questioning. According to a consent judgment signed, the Attorney General has agreed that the state will also cover the plaintiff's costs, totaling 80,000 kwacha. An herbalist of Lusaka's Jack compound has testified before the Lusaka Magistrate Court how she was threatened at gunpoint to sign off her properties at the residence of former First Lady ESTHER LUNGU. Elizabeth Piri, a complainant in a matter the country's ex-First Lady is accused of theft, told Magistrate Mbuyambwa Simvula that she was forced to transfer her property to the accused following the accused insisting that she was given 400,000 United States dollars by Catherine Banda, who is said to be a niece of the former First Lady. In this case, the former First Lady is standing trial alongside James Piri and Leach Sulo, both police officers, Kapembwe Lungu, a driver, and Catherine Banda, with theft allegations over vehicles and the land title deed.
In a gripping courtroom drama Monday, a witness took the stand to testify about a horrific incident in which she was allegedly threatened at gunpoint to transfer her property into someone else's name. Earlier this morning, the 27th of November 2023, amid tense courtroom proceedings, Elizabeth Piri recounted the terrific ordeal she allegedly experienced at the residence of the former First Lady ESTHER LUNGU in Lusaka's Ibex Hill area. According to the witness testimony, she was allegedly confronted by the former First Lady, who made a sign over the ownership of her property under intimidation. Piri, an herbalist of Lusaka's Jack compound, was testifying in a matter where the former First Lady and 4 others are accused of stealing 3 motor vehicles and a certificate of title for a property located in Libala, allegations which they have pleaded not guilty to before the Lusaka's Magistrate Court. Evidence adduced in court by the herbalist was that sometime in 2020, she was approached by the 5th accused person, Catherine Banda, who is said to be the niece of the former First Lady, who went to seek for assistance from her. The 5th accused person wanted traditional medicine in order for her to have a child and find a man to marry her. The witness narrated that after assisting and seeing that the medicine worked on the accused, the 5th accused requested her to become a mother. She testified that the accused had told her that she was a double orphan who neither had a relative. She also requested to know her children. The Lusaka's Magistrate Court has further held after the two knew each other for quite some time. The 5th accused person had at one point requested the witness to escort her to her auntie's place. Upon their arrival, after a few minutes, officers were called on them. The witness testified that she was allegedly beaten and threatened at gunpoint by 2 officers found at the residence of the former First Lady and demanded that she give them a parcel. But when she told them that she had no idea of what they were saying, she was driven to Ibex Hill, where the former First Lady also insisted that she retains the $400,000 United States dollars that Catherine Banda, the 5th accused person, had given her. The witness told court that despite emphasizing that she was not given, the former First Lady insisted that she had the money because the 5th accused, Catherine Banda, had told her that she gave the money to her. The witness further testified that she told the first accused, the former First Lady, that she was not aware about the same monies. The former First Lady insisted and allegedly ordered that her canter and 2 of her daughter's motor vehicles, including a plot she had bought at a price of over 1 million kwacha in the Bala area, be transferred to the former First Lady because she could not lose her money in such a manner. In this matter, the former First Lady, Esther Lungu, is jointly charged with James Piri, a police officer, Lee Chisulu, a police officer, Kapambwe Lungu, a driver, and Catherine Banda. The former First Lady, along 4 others, were arrested on the 6th of September 2023. The charges against them include theft of motor vehicles, theft of property of certificate. The matter has been adjourned to January 2024. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
You're watching the main news on Camnet TV with me, Sylvia Zulu. We now take our first set of commercials. Do join me with more news after the break.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
On Monday, 27th November 2023, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba with his guest, Madam Edith Nawakwi, FDD President.
We have resources. Why are we poor? We are poor because we like to govern from the center. The challenge is that Zambia is mapped as mineral rich, but we don't know it.
As they discuss, is Zambia headed in the right direction socially, economic, and politically? Watch and subscribe to Camnet Television Network on DSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 25, Topstar channel 106.
Invite others to participate through phoning on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp, and text messages.
Camnet Television, your #1 community station in Zambia. This is your channel of choice. Camnet TV.
Not just another channel.
Introducing Darren B, a touch of class. Are you looking for the perfect place to elevate your style and glam up? Look no further. Darren B Touch of Class is your one-stop destination for hair and makeup transformation. Walk into Darren B and walk out feeling like a star. Your transformation starts here. Call us on 0772 870 588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049 213 to book your appointment today. Payments are made via mobile money or point-of-sale machine. Strictly no cash payments. We are located along Mossy Road in Ibex Hill, 4th close on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post. At Darren B, we pride ourselves on our team of dedicated and trained personnel ready to pamper both women and children. Darren B is open 7 days a week from 0720 hours to 1740 hours. From trendy hairstyles and stylish makeovers to flawless makeup, we do it all. Darren B, a touch of class.
Thank you for staying with us. We now continue with more news. The Cleaning Association of Zambia has challenged the Anti-Corruption Commission to effectively conclude the matter in which a cleaning company, Nemchem, bank accounts are allegedly to have been frozen on allegations of fraud. Association President Loris Makumbi says there is no over 15 million kwacha that can be allegedly looted from workers whose conditions of service are not even befitting. Mr. Makumbi says the ACC should ensure justice prevails on the matter in order to safeguard the plight of workers in the cleaning industry.
Made a report to the Anti-Corruption Commission on the illegalities that have been there from 2015 for the 7,000 workers that are employed by this international company. And I wish to state that we are happy that, first of all, the SEC has gotten this report and is working on it. However, we need to make sure that it goes to its conclusive end, which must result in arrest and going to court. And if found guilty, those perpetrators of theft from the thousands of workers must be jailed. We cannot allow foreigners to come into this country and come and get money that is from poor cleaners. You get it as subscription for union, and then the company eats over 150,000 kwacha every month. It's unacceptable. The workers have been suffering in this time and age when the cost of living is very difficult. How dare a foreigner come into this country and steal from the hungry, the suffering workers, the suffering cleaners? Hence, all workers around for Nemchem must know and ask their managers where the money for the union subscription has been going. All the thousands of workers in Nemchem must ask this question: where has the money for the union been going? And we must make sure that Anti-Corruption Commission works on this matter and concludes it so that these people can be taken to court and jailed for stealing of over 15 million kwacha from poor cleaners in Zambia.
Lusaka-based clergy has implored people to cultivate a life of faith in order to see a positive transformation in their lives. Pastor Israel Yambala of Praise Christian Center says every success starts with believing in the desired aspiration. He made the remarks on the sidelines of the launch of Believe in Yourself book launch, authored by Major Chilumba.
As a personal development leader, trainer, and coach, I inspire you to really believe in yourself. Life is all about belief. It starts with belief and then it grows from there. The scriptures tell us that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. And by it, the elders of old had a good report. So faith begins with you having, or should I say, having a good report in life begins with you having a life of faith.
We are celebrating the launch of the book Believe in Yourself by Major Chilumba, and the book, I will tell you, it is amazing. The experience today has been wonderful. We have had such an engaging time today, and every person that attended has not left the same. The impact that is in the book, that indeed for you to get to where you desire to go, it will not take your external environment, it will take you believing in yourself.
Therefore, let us read this book, and indeed we are going to find it to be more helpful in our businesses, in whatever career we have. Without believing in ourselves, we can't, excel in everything that we are doing.
This is a book that will uplift your faith, will uplift your life. Maybe you are broken, you're passing through sorrows and tribulation. Have you ever heard of believing yourself? So this is a belief that is inside you. So this book will nurture your belief, will help you move out of your situation that you are passing through.
Center for Coordinating of Agricultural Research and Development in Southern Africa, CADESA, Executive Director Professor Cliff Ndlamini, has noted that the negative impacts of climate change have been worsening in the region due to the lack of accurate climate information and agricultural advisories reaching farmers. Professor Ndlamini highlighted that CADESA was prioritizing efforts to create and disseminate vital climate-informed decision support tools for the agriculture sector, which were crucial for improving food systems' resilience against climate change impacts. He was speaking during the training of trainers' workshop on enhancing forecasting capabilities and developing crop prediction models for SADC member states in Johannesburg, South Africa. More in the following report.
Center for Coordination of Agriculture Research and Development in Southern Africa, CADESA Executive Director Professor Cliff Ndlamini has called on weather experts and agriculturists in the region to cater for the needs of farmers when packaging climate and weather information.
We do have climate information services, but as to how they link up with the people who are supposed to utilize the information, that is a challenge. So through trainings like this one, training of trainers, is one of the ways in which that can be improved. CADESA has prioritized efforts to create and disseminate vital climate-informed decision support tools for the agriculture sector.
And Director for Africa Trade Promotions from the Department of Agriculture, Land Reforms and Rural Development in South Africa, Winston Makabanyani, and lecturer from the Copperbelt University, Professor Gillen Kawe, emphasized on the importance of climate information to smallholder farmers.
And as you forecast, I suppose being in the agriculture sector, you'd be doing the forecasts for farmers. The information that you derive from using those tools, will that information be in the language that the farmer would find useful? Or what you'll be communicating is, expect that this week you should plant, or expect that you should harvest. It is that information that the farmer needs, not that the rain will be 80% or whatever the percentage. It doesn't help me as a farmer.
Given that this information is not readily available to the farmers, it poses a challenge. If they will not know when to plant, how much rain is coming, in which period. So having been through these weeks of training on a model that is supposed to help us to predict when the rains are coming, how much of the temperature is going to be there within a given space of time, helps us to communicate this information to the farmers so that they are prepared, they don't waste their resource.
Reporting, I'm Dorcas Kabuya.
We now take our final break. I'll be back with foreign and sports news.
On Monday, 27th November 2023, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba with his guest, Madam Edith Nawakwi, FDD President.
We have resources. Why are we poor? We are poor because we like to govern from the center. The challenge is that Zambia is mapped as mineral rich, but we don't know it.
As they discuss, is Zambia headed in the right direction socially, economic, and politically? Watch and subscribe to Camnet Television Network on DSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 25, Topstar channel 106.
Invite others to participate through phoning on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp, and text messages.
Camnet Television, your #1 community station in Zambia. This is your channel of choice. Camnet TV.
Not just another channel.
Water is life. Each drop counts, and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. And now in foreign news, Sierra Leone has lifted a curfew imposed on Sunday following an attack by armed men on a military barracks and prisons in the capital, Freetown. Authorities said a new night curfew will begin daily from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. local time until further notice. President Julius Maada Bio addressed the nation on Sunday night, calling on the country's political and traditional leaders and civil societies to work together to preserve peace. He said that most of the leaders behind the unrest had been arrested and added that calm has been restored.
Sierra Leone has lifted a curfew imposed on Sunday following an attack by armed men on a military barracks and prisons in the capital, Freetown. A new night curfew will begin daily from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. local time until further notice, authorities said. President Julius Maada Bio addressed the nation on Sunday night, calling on the country's political and traditional leaders and civil society to work to preserve the peace. He said that most of the leaders behind the unrest had been arrested and added that calm has been restored. Sierra Leone has been on edge since Bio was re-elected in June this year, in a vote rejected by the main opposition candidate and questioned by international partners. Sunday's attack has deepened tension in West and Central Africa amid a surge of coups in the region in recent years. The Economic Community of West African States condemned what it called an attempt by certain individuals to disturb constitutional order in the country.
Hamas militants released a third group of hostages, including a 4-year-old American girl, Sunday, in exchange for a new group of Palestinian prisoners on the third day of a truce which a source close to the militants said they were willing to prolong.
The returnees arrived and were admitted to the hospital discreetly, where they were reunited with their loved ones and began a medical evaluation carried out by hospital staff with sensitivity and dedication.
The transfers under a 4-day truce that started Friday have been the forced relief for captives' families since the militant group attacked Israel on October 7, prompting devastating Israeli bombardment of the Gaza Strip. On the first day, they entered our rooms, they took our belongings, they left us with one set of clothes, and we were supposed to wear the same clothes until God provides. Thank God we left. They would beat us, insult us, and say bad words. Those released were among around 240 people captured on October 7, when Hamas fighters broke through Gaza's militarized border with Israel in the country's deadliest attack ever.
Tens of thousands of Moroccans on Sunday held a protest in Casablanca in support of the Palestinian people, calling for a permanent ceasefire in Gaza and for an end to diplomatic relations with Israel. What we need is not a truce, but a definitive ceasefire so that we can sit down together and give peace a chance. The creation of a sovereign Palestinian state with Al-Quds as its capital, the possibility of the return of all the exiles from the entire Palestinian diaspora, and the release of the prisoners in the jails of the Zionist state. The demonstrations came on the third day of a 4-day ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, following 7 weeks of war in Gaza, which began following the attack by Hamas on October 7th.
In sports news, Zambia's ambassador to Angola, Lawrence Chalungumana, officially welcomes the Copper Queens in Luanda. Mr. Chalungumana said the Copper Queens have brought a lot of pride and joy to the country and should keep up on the same trajectory. He encouraged the team to remain focused and disciplined if they are to continue delivering results. Mr. Chalungumana says the country is proud of the team and expects them to pick a win in Angola. The Copper Queens play Angola on Wednesday in the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON second round first leg qualifier at 18 hours Central African time.
The game you have come to play is a qualifier for the Africa Cup. You have already been to the World Cup. So this is, you are repeating what you have already done. You have already done the higher league. So pay attention to your coaches, maximum discipline, give Zambia the pride that it is known for. Angolans, I've watched them. I think you are a better side. So everybody is looking forward to seeing a good game and deliver the goals. Okay? One Zambia, one nation. One Zambia, one nation. So on Wednesday when we are in the stadium, when I come there to sit watching you, I'm expecting nothing less than a win. Nothing less than a win. Yes. So my team is here. All the diplomats will be together, and we've got a community of Zambians. They are also going to be in the stadium to watch you do it. We have had teams coming here. We've had the ZESCO, those were in the Confederation. We've had the Red Arrows come here. We've had Green Eagles come here. The environment is conducive. They come and they've won. So you are coming on top of other Zambians have come here to do the same job.
We've come to the end of our main news. Here are the top stories making headlines. A LUSAKA-based herbalist testifies against former First Lady Esther LUNGU. Government reduces student loan repayment interest rate. Authorities advise against arresting opposition leaders over trivial matters. In international news, Sierra Leone imposes night curfew following attack. And in sports news, Copper Queens age to keep the winning momentum. Our Camnet verse of the day is coming from the book of Matthew 18, verse 3. Truly, I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Pleasant night.